You want to make your own pizza at home, but you don't have the gear. You don't have a pizza stone. You don't have a pizza peel. But the good news is you don't need any of it. You can make great pizza with no technology at all. Just an oven and a baking sheet. I'm gonna show you how to do that by making grandma's pizza. So great, I'm gonna walk you through this. We're gonna use a two-step process to bake this pizza. We're gonna push the dough out into a pan, bake it for 6 minutes, then pull it out of the oven, top it, and bake it for another 5 or 6 minutes, and that's it. The reason we're baking it twice is because we want the dough to settle into a bread before we put the toppings on, otherwise you're gonna get undercooked dough. First step for this is I'm gonna use a baking sheet, and for 290 grams of dough, I'm using a 9x13 baking sheet. My rule of thumb for this is 2¼ to 2½ grams per square inch. If that's too nerdy for you, just ask like a third grader, they know how to do it. Length times width, that's how you get your square inches. You multiply that by 2¼ to 2½, somewhere in there, and that's how you know how much dough you need. If it's too much thinking, don't worry. 9 to 10 ounce dough ball is good for a 9x13 baking sheet. First step is just a very small amount of oil. And the reason that we don't want too much oil in the pan is because too much oil will let the dough slosh. And you want just enough oil that you can coat all the surfaces. I'm talking about up the walls, into the edge, and all over the base. You shouldn't see any puddles. It should just be slick and reflective. So there you go. If you can't see yourself in the baking sheet, you're not there yet. All right, next step is you take your dough, and since I keep my dough balls in these little plastic containers, it's real easy. I just flip the container upside down and let the dough fall in. But if you're using dough that's in a plastic bag or something like that, you just want to take it out of the bag really gently. I like to put my hand around the dough ball and then turn the bag upside down and peel the bag off of the dough. If you squeeze the dough, you're gonna kill it. It's not gonna be stretchable, it's gonna fight back. If you do it this way, the dough will not fight. Now that I've got the dough into the pan, I just grab the 4 corners and gently pull them out. If you pull it by the edges, you won't rip the center. There should be enough excess oil on the bottom of the pan that you can coat your fingers. This way you won't stick to the dough. Because once you've got a little bit of oil coated on your fingers, you're just gonna press down on the dough. And in pressing down on the dough, you're gonna push it out to fill the corners. You don't wanna push out, you just wanna push down. I'm gonna get a little bit more oil on my hand. And at this point, if the dough is fighting back at you, just cover it, walk away for 10 or 15 minutes, and when you come back, it'll be ready to rock. Once you have the dough pushed into the corners, you're good to go. If you have a little extra time on your hands, you can cover it and let it sit for 30 to 60 minutes, and then it'll rise a little bit. But if you're really making like classic grandma's pizza, you just put it like this right into the oven. Before I put this in the oven, there's one thing I'm gonna do, which is I'm gonna put a little bit of oregano just to season this dough. And then I'm gonna put just a tiny bit of olive oil to coat that oregano so it doesn't burn. If I had garlic, I would put some of that on now as well, but I don't have any garlic. There we go. Into the oven, right on the rack, right in the middle. And I'm gonna set a timer for 6 minutes, and after 6 minutes, it comes out. All right, it's been 6 minutes. Oh, this is perfect. So at the 6 minute mark, I pull it out. It's got some nice browning on it. And I always like to check just to make sure that it's not stuck to the pan. Yes! If you put a little bit of oil on it, it won't stick to the pan, so you're good. Now let's take a look at the bottom. Nice. Just a little bit of browning on the bottom. Great. We're ready to build the rest of the pizza. I'm gonna start with cheese, and then I'll add sauce at the very end, because grandma's pizza is thin, rectangular, sauce on top. There's usually a little garlic, but I don't have any garlic today. The best pizzas to make in a home oven without any extra equipment are square pizzas. Sicilian pizzas, grandma's pizzas, you know, anything in a pan. Since this is baking in a pan, I'm not shy about the cheese. I'm letting the cheese go all the way to the edge. I'm even letting it spill over a little bit because I love a little burnt cheese along the edge. So this is too much cheese for my round pizzas, but perfect for my squares. Last thing, I'm just gonna dollop little blasts of sauce. I put the sauce on top of this because I personally like it when the cheese adheres to the crust, and you know, I don't take a bite and pull all the cheese off. Also, I'm making grandma's pizza, and grandma's pizza is a style that's become popular in the northeastern US, especially on Long Island. And it's a style that has thin rectangular crust, cheese, and then sauce on top. This is a great style of pizza to make if you're having a bunch of people over, because you can par bake 5, 10, however many shells you want. And then when you're ready to cook, you just top them and stick them in the oven. This is going back in the oven for another 5 to 7 minutes or whenever the crust looks done. So you let this cook in the oven for about 6 minutes. Preheated this oven to the hottest we can get it, which for me is about 500, maybe 550. We let it sit for 6 minutes and then we'll check on it. Okay, it's been another 6 minutes. Now let's take a peek. Oh, yes! Beautiful. Sauce did not spread exactly the way I would like, but I'll survive. And now it should pop right out of this, right out of the cooling rack. Now, I like the cooling rack because I can let the pizza breathe. It won't build up too much condensation. Underside looks pretty good. We got some nice char. Now, this to me is almost perfect. I'm gonna do one little twist to it, which also requires no extra equipment, but it might scare you. I'm gonna put this pizza directly on the rack of the oven, and I'm gonna leave it there for about 1 minute. What this is gonna do is gonna dry out the bottom. It's gonna make it a little extra crispy, and it's gonna even out some of the browning. This is just 1 minute later. Oh yeah. Extra crispy. Yeah! A little bit more browning underneath. Now, if you like it more well done, you would leave it in there longer. If you like it lighter, you take it out sooner. The point of giving you some of these numbers is just to help you with timing. I let it sit on the cooling rack again just to get some exhaust. While that's happening, let's add some Pecorino Romano. And after I slice it, I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil. Don't add oil or honey or balsamic vinegar or anything like that before you slice it, or you're just gonna get your slicer real messy. So slice it first, then add the liquid stuff. Important life lesson. Oh, it sounds good. Now, just a tiny bit of extra virgin olive oil. Let's take a peek. I'm going for a corner slice. All right, look at this. No special equipment, nice and even, beautiful color on the bottom. It even has a nice rise on the side. No extra equipment, nothing fancy, just a home oven, a baking sheet, and some spirit. It's awesome.